Hey, boys and girls. What do you think's going on today? Hmm. See, I see a nice new shiny red iPhone 7 housing. I see a iPhone 7 screen, a gasket to go right there, and a busted iPhone 7. And this housing's just, there's really not much wrong with it, except for I bought this to flip it. Okay? Now, I've been buying, selling iPhones for a while now. And I've noticed that if you have a red iPhone, they sell for like $40, $50 more. Now, this housing on eBay cost $15 shipped to my door. It has the iPhone logo. It's got the iPhone product on the bottom. Now, it does not have a matching IMEI number. So, like, if I was to buy it, I would know it was aftermarket because the IMEI number is not on it. But I think I'm going to break this up in two videos, one for the screen and one for the housing. And I'm not going to do it in real time. I don't think you guys need to see me pull every single screw out of it and put it back in. But I will show you some of my tips and tricks because I've been doing this for a couple years. Alright, I'll be back. At first, we are going to take the two pentalope screws out of the bottom, and one of the tricks I like to do is this was one of them magnetic mats that you can get from like Fixies or whatever, and I cut it in two. So is what I'll do is like I'll write on the bottom pent, for the pentalope screws, and then you got two of them. So I'll pull the two pentalope screws out of the bottom. And put it right there in the hole. Same for the next one. And then I'll open the phone up. Now this phone has, the screen's not really all that bad, but like I said, I'm gonna flip it, and I paid $60 for this iPhone. I think the screen was right around 15, the housing was 15, and the gasket was a dollar. I buy these things in bulk. I'll use them on the 6S, the 7, and up. I won't use it on a 6 just because there's no waterproofing housing, no waterproofing on the SIM card. So just be careful whenever you open up the 7s and up, because it folds open like a book to the right. And you don't want to rip your camera ribbon. I mean, it's not really gonna hurt if you rip the screen, just because, big whoop-de-doo. But now, like, see like how the bracket here holds down the screen. So I'll just, I'm not a very good drawer, so I'll just go like this, and like this. And then there's one here, one here, one here, and one here. Now these are the Y.06 screws. So you need the Y bit. Yeah, I'm pretty lazy. I got one of these wow sticks. It's a cordless battery powered screwdriver, and then take it out, and then I'll put it in spot there, because these iPhones, some screws it's okay to mix up and put a little bit longer one in it. But man, you long screw one of the ones that take a short screw, you can really mess it up, because you know, you can score the motherboard and cut the traces, and then I'll take the bracket and stick it right there. Okay, now next on any iPhone, I don't care which one you're working on, I see people do it all the time, is unhook your battery. Okay, now I know people say, oh, it's not going to hurt anything, but I've seen to where that's not the case, and it hurts the backlight filter. You blow that backlight filter, I can replace it, but chances are, you know, not everybody has a hot air station or has the know-how to change the backlight filter. I mean, they are small. Here I am really messing up this camera bracket on how to draw it, but I switched my bit over to a regular Phillips, and then there's 2 Phillips in there. I'll take it and put it right there. Take this one out, put that one right there, grab my tweezers and put the bracket right there. And then don't ever use you know, your tweezers or anything to pop one of these off, because you can get under and hit a capacitor, a filter, a choke, whatever. But that's why I keep my fingernails, my pinky fingernail long, so that I can just get right underneath there, pop it, come underneath the camera one, and pop it. There, it's free. Alright, and my battery's still disconnected. Now, see if I can show you one of the one of the capacitors. Let me grab a different board. I'll be right back. Okay, now this is just a dummy board, one that I just been playing with. Now these are my tweezers. You can see that's the battery side. Now see these like little black blotches? There's capacitors, and it does not take much. I will say on the ones by the screen connections, they have this black goo stuff on it. It helps keep it in place. But yeah, it doesn't take much to pop one off. And then you're stuck to send it into a micro soldering place that charges 150 bucks to do it. And I don't think you want to do that. Okay, now to make this video short, there's 2 screws hanging out in the phone. Well, somebody must have had this phone apart before. Huh, that's not very nice. There's another screw. Wow. Alright, well, I'm going to pause you guys and I'll figure out where them came from. Alright guys, I got all the screws out and you can see how I have everything laid out. And these are just over here, just the ones for the shield. They're all the same size, you don't have to worry about separating them. Alright, and I found out where them screws came from. The guy I bought it off of said that the vibrating wasn't working right. And now I can see why. Because the screws were out of it. So I put them back in. Now I'm sure that'll work fine. But, okay, so now got all this ready to come apart. You take your shield here, move the housing out of the way. We'll take our shield, lift it up. Now on these, there's a little bit of adhesive underneath here. So you'll want to get underneath it and kind of get it to lift up off. Okay. Now my guess is, yeah, this is an aftermarket screen. That's why. I don't know why they had the screws out of the Taptic engine, but they did. Okay, now I'm gonna try to give you guys a couple of pointers here. So what we want to watch out for on the iPhone 7 and 8, the home button is married to the motherboard. So if you mess this home button up, it will no longer work. You cannot buy a replacement. Apple wants $289 to replace it. So what I found to do is get your tweezers, okay? Get in between the connector. Hold down between the screen and the connector. Get a little bit better of a grip here. Kind of like so. And then just pop it off. And then hold this one up. Like I said, this is a junk screen, so don't worry about hurting that part. Worry about hurting the home button. And then get underneath here. I normally like to have heat on this because it makes it easier. Okay, now just slowly pry it up. Just work it a little bit at a time. That's right, work it, work it. Okay, now there it is. And unhurt home button. Okay, we'll put that off to the side. Okay. Now here's the camera. Kind of hold that to the side and get up underneath here. Take your time. Okay, now that's free. Still be underneath it. And gently pry it up. Now this should not have any adhesive on this part. But you don't want to pull on that too hard. But you want to get underneath. And just keep on lifting up. Just a little bit at a time. And then it will come off. Typically, I like to put it on a hot plate, but okay, now that's free. We've gotten everything off of this screen we need that I can think of. What I do with the replacement screen. Okay. Now, there's one thing you want to check on these aftermarket screens. See, like the thing here where your camera sets in, and your flash and your other sensor, ambient sensor. But thankfully the new screen came with it. Is one thing I like to do is take and push down on here, because sometimes whenever you try to peel this off, it likes to pull everything up. Okay, now we'll put our shield on like so. And with these 7s, like I said, they are a little bit more finicky than the 6s and the 6Ss. There's one thing you gotta make sure is that the shield and this are even, because whenever it sets into the housing, if it's not just right, it will give you a hard time. From experience, I do know. So try to get it to sit flush there. Okay. Now we'll put some screws in this. And these are the Y screws, the I think they're 0.06 Ys. And we'll just put a couple in it to hold it in place. Like I said, this is a pain in the butt sometimes. Okay. Now, so what I like to do is take and peel this back a little bit. And it has to go in from the front, not through the back. It'll be that side, so you want to feed it through just like so. Like I said, always be careful with this home button. Try to get to go in to where that lines up on that little peg. Okay, then I'll take and push this back down to kind of hold the home button in place. Because you gotta lift this up and get that to go like so. And then just snap your home button in place and you're good to go. Okay. Okay guys, now we're putting in the camera, the front facing camera. Okay. Now these kind of are a little tricky, but you see I already pulled the adhesive off. Is what you want to do is kind of hold this back like so. Get these two pegs up here on the bottom where it makes contact. You'll see what I'm talking about. There's two little pegs that stick up for that to sit in. You want that to be lined up. And then your flash and the ambient sensor will go in like so. And then you'll want to take your speaker, put it in. You can see how like them four little prongs on the bottom. Just slide it in, and them prongs will make contact with them. The four little contacting points there on the bottom by them pegs we lined up. Okay, here's the camera bracket, and that goes over. Okay, it looks like it's all lining up. Now you remember earlier how we had our screws laid out so that we knew how they went. Is what I like to do is take this long one off there, grab it. Okay, now I like to get that one started. And I'll run it in the whole way, but you want to make sure it's fitting really good. Okay, then we'll grab the rest of the screws. We can actually lay it down now. Grab the screw. You gotta be careful by that speaker. It likes to grab screws and pull it off of your screwdriver tip. Yeah, and if you're using one of these wow sticks, be careful. Don't just like hold the button in and let it run in the whole way. Use a little common sense. I know some people lack that part, but get it close, and once it stops, just stop. They're not like over torquey, but if you put the screw in too far, you can break the glass from the other side. I've seen it done. I've yet to do it, I know this is not the fun part. Watch me put some screws in. But we're going to finish the screen replacement up. I don't think I'm going to do the housing swap on camera just because it's going to take a while. And okay, now that's all done. Alright, now typically I would put all the rest of the screws in, but like I said, I'm going to be doing a housing swap, and I hate to put all them in and rip it all back apart, but I will walk you through the rest. Okay, at this point, you would take your gasket and peel it apart here. Is what I like to do is you figure out which end, like say this is the end that will go up here by the camera. Okay, and what I'll do is, let me grab my computer right. Okay, is what I like to do is just kind of line it up, and then I'll take a little pair of scissors and cut right here. Now this isn't hurting anything, and I'll show you why I do this. Okay, like I said, it's not going to hurt anything, but let me take a little more out of it. Okay, you'll line it up like so, and then I take a pair of tweezers. I get it stuck down, kind of even, well, as even as you can get it. And then I'll take my tweezers and run it along, make sure it's down good. The reason why I cut this spot out here is that's your battery connector. So if you're messing around with it and you push that down on, you could hurt it. All right, let's get this semi put back together. Okay, so what I like to do is do the camera one first, because that one is the tricky connector. Okay, you'll hear a positive snap. Same. You can hear it clicking in and feel it clicking in good. I don't like this screen. Okay, you'll feel it lining up and then you push it down. Don't force it without it lining up. Okay. And you'll slide it in at the top. It's always good to do a test first. Like right now I can feel that ribbon cable fighting me. Okay. All right, we're on. Screen brightness grab a app and slide it around. I hate whenever you see people on, let me get that out of there. I don't want it to be in utilities. Check your home button, make sure it's got a good positive click. I hate on YouTube how whenever you'll see people, you know, slide it for 5 minutes all over the place. If it does it one time, it's good. Okay. And then you'll snap it in the rest away and put your 2 pentalobe screws in the bottom and you're done. Congrats. But now I got a housing swap to do. So, we'll catch you on the next one.